Welcome to the fourth dimension, where some rules can be bent and others broken. The agents are trying to keep us parted, but we are like two trains on the same track destined to collide. Some will call this prophecy. Greetings, everyone. I hope you all are doing well since the last episode. Since the last time we spoke, a few days have passed, countless miles traveled, and fun times with an ancient family. As stated by the message from the Keymaster in the previous episode, we should be heading toward the lake with a pyramid, also known as Pyramid Lake. On the way to this westerly destination, passing through Wyoming and Utah, we notice gigantic tetrahedron pyramidal structures in the distance. These were not naturally formed and came to even a deeper realization of how ancient the land we walk on must be. Why hasn't anyone spoke on the pyramids of Wyoming or Utah, which are as large or larger than those of the Grand Canyon? We observed these energetic forms and meditated on the synchronicities that have followed us throughout the journey. We sent agents to these ancient structures to conduct research and gather data for yet another future expedition. Many of you know that we talked about Pyramid Lake before. Let us dive into what was spoken on previously and then see what else can be added. There have been shows called the Twilight Zone and even one called the Outer Limits, which usually get into just weird, anomalous, strange, fringe-like activity that happens with a person or with people in the United States. But so this place is Twilight. I consider it Twilight. I consider it it's a place that affects the subconscious in a very specific way. It's not a bad thing if you're able to handle it. But if certain draconian forces are pushing a certain narrative, it brings out a certain aspect of Twilight. Okay, but now with that being said and done, on this continent here, there are many ancient, not only ancient monuments, ancient tools, ancient technologies. Some have been recovered and some are still around. And in some cases, they could not be recovered, so they just buried them deeper, okay, and put tons of mountainous like dirt on them to keep it hidden, okay, for a later time. So with that being said and done, again, I said it a few moments ago here, but in short, saying that no matter where you're at in the world, do some discovery of those ancient places where you dwell. You may be surprised what you will come up with and discover. So without further ado, let's continue on. All right, everyone, I got it pulled up here so I can show you all some pictures and everything as we move along here. So, all right, so of course, when you think of water babies, some probably thought of like this image here. Everyone look on the screen, you should see some babies in water. Oh, everybody at the same time, right? Oh, but no, that's not what the show tonight is about babies floating in water, per se, okay? Nevada's Pyramid Lake attracts anglers and photographers from around the world, but the lake also has a dark side. Stretching over 125,000 acres, Pyramid Lake, also known as the Pyramid Lake Vortex, is a scenic site. Apple, that is an Apple Computers, featured it on the home screen of the original iPad. Fishermen come for the rare kuyu and Lohatan cutthroat trout, while other recreationalists enjoy swimming, kayaking, and paddle boarding. The name of the lake comes from the impressive cone or pyramid-shaped tufa formations found in the lake and along the shores. The largest such formation, the Anaho Island, is home to a large colony of American white pelicans and is restricted for ecological reasons. Access to the Needles, another spectacular tufa formation at the northern end of the lake, has also been restricted due to recent vandalism. John C. Fremont was the first American to gaze upon Pyramid Lake in 1844 and was named based on its tufa formation that is seen on the eastern shore, which actually resembled a pyramid. On the western shore of the lake is an area called the Needles, which also is the site of geothermal energy, which steam rises up from the ground. The Needles are a series of rock formations that protrude right out of the ground and are submerged by the lake's pristine greenish waters. At one time, most of Nevada was underwater as the Powhatan Sea consumed a lot of the northern Nevada. When the sea began to fade, it formed many lakes in this region, including the forming of Pyramid Lake. The lake is the largest remnant today of the ancient Powhatan Sea and was at one time the deepest part, totaling 890 feet in depth. Today, just under 400 feet deep, and some of the locals have claimed that a serpent dwells upon its bottom depths. This may be true considering some unlucky fishermen that have been pulled in were never found or seen again. By 1888, it was used for commercial fishing, and by that time, most of the Paiute Indians had moved northernward into the Black Rock Desert. By 1912, the natives became the employees, as 10 to 15 tons of trout per week were caught and sold to southern Nevada mining camps. Sadly, the lake eventually became overfished. That is when the method of stocking trout began here in 1950. Without stocking the lake, there would be no fish to catch or eat, and so today it is still a #1 fishing spot in Nevada. In 1925, a coyote named Johnny Skimmerhorn caught the world's largest cutthroat in this lake, totaling 41 pounds. That is a fish that weighs 41 pounds. Just as Clark Gable, who loved to fish for cutthroat, used to come up here to catch cutthroat, it is not uncommon even today for fishing enthusiasts to catch 10-pounders. Okay? Rumor has it that centuries ago, 60-pound trout were common here. They could have been considered monsters of this lake. The Americas are home to some pretty epic urban legends, abandoned ghost towns, haunted southern cities, and the like. But the tales that surround Nevada's Pyramid Lake is one that, especially if you live anywhere near the area, just might keep you up at night. Some believe that these stories are just silly fables told to children to keep them away from the water. But the eerie legends that surround this beautiful lake have more to do with what lies beneath. There are a number of tales that try to give reason to the phenomenon of the haunting sounds and the missing people. Two legends in particular are most commonly told by the locals, one of which is referred to as the legend of the water babies, and begins with the American Indian Paiute tribe, who were said to have thrown malformed and premature babies into the dark and murky waters to drown in an effort to keep the tribe strong, keeping only the children who would grow to be capable and useful members of the tribe. And so, the story goes that the shrieks and cries that are heard late into the night are the ghosts of the drowned babies from the Paiute tribe. That story, of course, is very similar to what we have been told that the Spartans used to do, so they only had a very strong people. Okay, so let me continue on here. Now, these drowned infants terrify guests with their ghostly wailing. Known as water babies, the young spirits are most active around sunrise and sunset and are fond of drowning swimmers, capsizing boats, and dragging fishermen deep into the lake. People go missing there all the time, just a FYI, going into the waters. A local guide told a writer from the Grandi drummer, "I have never seen an actual water baby, but I have seen a number of inexplicable things on sonar. Images appear out of nowhere on a screen, then suddenly disappear." Another rendition of this haunting fable involves a Paiute tribesman and a mermaid from Pyramid Lake who fell madly in love, only to have the union rejected from the tribe. The heartbroken mermaid was exiled from the lake by the tribesmen, but she did not leave. She remained there, and her growing fury cursed the waters and sought vengeance on any man that attempted to enter her lake. This, of course, would explain all the missing fishermen. Some believe that this version of the story was concocted by the Paiute tribe themselves in an effort to repair their name and cover up the savage and despicable actions of drowning their own babies. The Pyramid Lake Vortex and its water babies. Welcome back. There are some interesting tidbits to add to what you have learned from the Pyramid Lake video. One being, this place is gorgeous, nestled within a mountainous landscape, seemingly like an oasis for those who have been traveling and need rest. Also, clear waters, which were icy cold in the early afternoon hours. This place is also much larger than imagined, and far down the beaches you can barely see others who are boarding small boats to fish and get an even closer look at this alien structure. Pyramid Lake is approximately 15 miles long and 11 miles wide. The lake measures 350 feet at its deepest point. We stayed for a while, taking in the Nevada sun and scenery as we set up our equipment. We were sending and capturing bursts of sound and monitoring the energy levels given off by this unique environment. With so many photos and videos, many that need even more time to study and learn the secrets shared, maybe this is the reason why so many of these natural monuments that defy a trained logic have a seemingly easily explained away story. Everywhere you turn, a story here, a story there, stories for everyone. If you will listen, give them your ear, and they will lead you away into the abyss, smiling, laughing, as the Pied Piper, dressed in a vibrant, seemingly erratic colored patterns costume with a grin which only a mother can love. And this place is no different. It has a story, dressed up and handsome. Get ready, smile for this baby. Depending on which way you enter into this area, you will pass the Pyramid Lake Museum, a nice museum which lays out the history of the Paiute people, which called themselves Numu, who were deeply connected to their environment. The Paiutes believed that power, aka puha, could reside in any natural object, including animals, plants, stones, water, and geographical features. A worthy place to put on a bucket list to visit. Anyhow, we came here for a reason, for research, and of course to stay on the trail of the Keymaster. No agents were present, quite a beautiful day, but we needed to find the exact coordinates the Keymaster sent us to see where he's at. Family, we found it. A paper inside a sandwich bag with a phone number. When text, a response immediately came back stating, "You may be wary, trust," with some longitude and latitude coordinates. And then it said, "Sit with giants." Well, in looking these coordinates up, it has taken us deep into the redwoods under dense cover in the middle of nowhere, hundreds of miles away from here. Is this a setup by the agents? Or will we finally meet this Keymaster so the real journey can begin? Stay tuned for the next episode. And if you would like to partake in our next journey, join the wait list in the description.